Hi, I'm Jason Edwards and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and life coach. And I have been helping people to make positive changes to their lives for over a decade now. If you have ever had any stresses or anxieties within your life, then this download is really going to help you make some positive changes. We're going to explore your stressful and anxious thoughts together. And then I'm going to show you how to reduce them, get rid of them, and finally replace them with some positive, new, empowering thoughts. We're going to be using the free program, which I have developed and uses 4 very powerful therapeutic techniques I have been using to help people reduce and deal with any stresses and anxieties within their lives. Within the free program, I will teach you how to use these 4 simple techniques that you will use to reduce stress and anxiety yourself. We will then practice these together until they become second nature to you and you can make them a daily habit. You will have to use the free techniques every day for them to really make a difference to your life. And always remember, when you become free of stress and anxiety, you will find freedom within your life. Okay, let's start by looking a little more closely at the 4 main areas of the Freedom Program. Now, the first F is for focus, and the first part of changing your associations with stress and anxiety. This is where we look at what your fears are and also the reality of what may be bothering you about a situation in your life. R is for rehearsal. This is where we start to rehearse mentally how you would like to start and see changes happening for yourself. E, that is for emotional control, and one of the most important parts of this process. I'm going to teach you the power of getting back control of your emotions. The last E is actually for enjoyment, because we all need to enjoy life. And when we start to make positive changes and move away from our old thoughts and feelings, we can start to rehearse just how we're going to make our lives really great. And when we've worked through all of these stages of the Freedom Program, when we get to the final stage of free, I will take you through my own special anxiety and stress-busting hypnotherapy and relaxation session. Now, within this specially created session, you will become deeply relaxed, and we will then use some of the free techniques to start creating calming, new thoughts in your mind that will allow you to go out and do all of the things that you really want to. Taking you through all of the stages that you need to so that you can take positive action and feel calm and relaxed doing this. Okay, so without any further ado, let's start with just a little understanding about stress and anxiety and looking at where and how they are created. Now, we have all heard of fight, flight, or freeze. These are the 3 states that we can get into when we are faced with something that we think or believe may have a damaging or harmful effect on us in some way. Maybe we feel that doing something or going somewhere may result in us having to overcome a really big personal challenge. And at the moment, we just feel that we could not do that. It is always good to remember that this is different for everyone. Some people may feel that having to complete something like getting on a bus or going shopping is far too stressful, as they may have to talk to someone, and at this time they just feel that they cannot do that because it's too big a challenge. For other people, they may find having to confront someone at work brings on all sorts of anxieties. Maybe even the thought of having to go into work for some people is so stressful that it can actually induce a panic attack. So it is different for everyone. So what are the reasons for us having these stresses and anxieties? Well, primarily, we want to keep ourselves away from any harm, and essentially there is nothing wrong with that. No matter what we do in life, we always unconsciously risk assess it. If we didn't risk assess actions, then we would probably just blindly cross the road without looking. We always need to make sure that we think through whatever we do and effectively risk assess a situation. Doing a dynamic and realistic risk assessment is always a great place to start when we look to reduce stress and anxiety, as it actually helps us to separate the reality of a situation from those fearful and negative thoughts in your head. And those are the thoughts that are showing and telling you things that may never actually happen. In the movie After Earth, Will Smith at one point says to his son, "Danger is real, but fear is a choice." The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear the things that do not at present and may not ever exist. And this is actually great advice when setting out to reduce stress and anxiety. So, let's do that now, as I'm going to take you through the first step of our 3 technique, where we're going to focus on reality. Okay, this really powerful technique that I have developed has helped dozens of people to see the reality of any situation and start to remove any fears they may have around it, and at the same time reduce any stress or anxiety that they may have. So step 1, think about whatever it is that you want to do, or even how you want to be in a certain situation. This can be anything from just feeling calm, relaxed at work, going to the shops, or even starting a new business. Now state it in the positive. For example, I want to go to work and be calm and relaxed. Or, I want to effectively lead my team at work and be a great manager. Now it does not matter at all whatever the situation is, as long as it is stated in the positive. This will immediately change the way that you start to think about it. Okay, now ask yourself this question, and you have to base it on reality, not on your fears. Are there any real hazards or dangers to what you want to do, feel, or achieve? Think about it, and as you do, notice the pictures and the words that you're making in your mind right now. Now make sure any of those pictures and words are based on reality of the situation. Notice what comes up. Now one way to check if they are real is to ask yourself, what are the chances of that really happening? Is it a certainty, a possibility, unlikely, or even highly unlikely? Now for example, you may have been off work for a while and you may want to return, but every time you think about returning, you see your manager shouting, swearing, screaming, being really angry at you for something that you haven't done. Then you see yourself being sick and it makes you feel really anxious. But when you ask yourself to risk assess something, you might realize that it is highly unlikely and not actually going to happen. You're actually just focusing on an unlikely situation. Now, if you come up with the answer that it is highly unlikely or unlikely to happen, go back to the image or picture that you have created in your mind, or the words that you have heard in your head when you think about what you want. Notice what feelings you get when you think about them. It might be an anxious or a stressful situation that you're giving yourself. Now, give that feeling a number from 1 to 10. with 10 being very anxious and 1 being I'm really relaxed around this situation and totally calm. Now, as you're doing this, just relax and close your eyes, as that actually helps you to think about the image you have. Now, think about the situation. Bring back that image that made you feel anxious. Now, this is the image and sounds that you are associating with creating the thoughts that are causing your levels of stress and anxiety to climb, and you yourself have decided that it is actually unlikely to happen. So, as it's just based on an image in your head, let's start using your powerful mind to start altering this picture in a way that will make you feel calmer and so much more relaxed. You could actually use your powerful imagination to take this picture and shrink the image down until it is really small and tiny. Or what you could actually just make the image do is go further, further, further away until it totally disappears from view. Or you could have an imaginary remote control and just make the image darker and darker until you can't see it. You could actually have an awful lot of fun playing around with this image that used to make you feel stressful. Imagine if you had that remote control now and you were able to do anything with the picture you wanted to do. You could flip it upside down, press a button, send it off spinning into orbit. Do whatever you want to do to get rid of this negative image in your mind and make it disappear now. You can also use this technique if there are any sounds or voices that you are making that make you feel bad around this thought of what it is that you want to do. For instance, if you were fearful of someone shouting at you, just slide the volume down and even change their voice to a silly, squeaky, Mickey Mouse type voice and hear how silly they sound. So go on, go and do this now. Because if you believe that this negative and stress-creating thought is unlikely or highly unlikely to happen, and it's making you feel stressed, you can use your mind to change and alter the picture and the sound. And you can do this as many times as you want until that old image and sound are completely gone. So, just pause at this point, keep your eyes closed, if it is safe to do so, and go and get rid of this old image and sound that you no longer need. Okay, so now we have got rid of that old image that we no longer needed. Now, what I want you to do is check how you are feeling around that old image and sound, with 10 being really stressful and 1 being calm and relaxed. Give it a number. What you should find now is this number has been dramatically reduced to a much more manageable level and enabled you to feel much calmer. If you still feel like there are any anxieties around this highly unlikely imagined image or sound, then go over the process again and again till that number comes down. Keep doing that process until it comes down and down and down, and in the end you can think of that situation and feel totally calm and completely relaxed. Okay, so what we're going to move on from, now we've got rid of that old fear, and remember, fear is not based on reality. We're actually going to be dealing with what we call reality. Now, go back over what you want to do, become, or achieve, and keep going over this process until you are certain you have dealt with any unlikely or highly unlikely situations that are just based on fears. And do the same thing with those old images and those old sounds. Now, when you have done this enough times, until you've decided that there are no real risks attached, then you can progress to the next technique. However, you will still want to listen to the rest of this section. So, if you've gone back over and assess the situation again and again, getting rid of the old images and sounds of anything that you think is unlikely or highly unlikely to actually happen, you can now look at anything that you may think that there is a possibility or a certainty of there being some genuine risk to what you want to do. Now, this is really okay, and just what you need to be discovering, as you are now looking for the reality of the situation and can only see this when you've got rid of the imagined fears. You need to explore further and see how you could make some practical changes to reduce the real risk. And we're talking about a real-world situation here. For example, if you have decided that after a period of being off of work, you want to return, but you're concerned about the real stresses and anxieties, what could you do to actually lower the risk of this happening? At this stage, remember, we are still dealing with something that may make you feel some anxiety due to the reality of the situation. But this is okay, as I will show you in the next few steps how we deal with stress and anxieties of real risk. But for the moment, we are still looking at maybe what you're creating in your mind and real risk and how we reduce risk around reality. So again, let's go back to our previous example. If there is a possibility or a certainty of real risk first, ask yourself, what is the risk and how could it come about? It is really important that you don't ask why. That is not what you need to know. Just ask, what is the risk? How could it come about? Who may it affect? And when and where it may take place. Now, keep asking lots of questions around the real risk, but only use what, when, where, who, and how. Never use the why word, as you will never get a good answer. So again, you may want to pause here for a moment and take some time to think about this. It would be best to either type it up on your tablet or phone, or grab a paper and pen and write it down. Write down what you want, what could happen, to who, how could it happen, and where and when. Okay, go and do that and come back when you have a set of answers. So now you have a better and clearer and more realistic idea of what, if any, genuine risks there are involved around whatever it is you want to achieve. If we look at the previous example of going back to work, you may have produced something like the following. What do I want to do? I want to return to work next week. What are the real risks? Well, I might not be able to cope. You have classified this as a possibility. So, what might you think will happen? I will go to work and it will become really busy. I will be working on a till at a busy period, maybe lunchtime, and my breathing will increase and I will not be able to think straight. I will then have a panic attack and everyone will see what is happening and I will have to go home again. Okay, so that gives you an example of what you may have felt is a possibility or even an absolute certainty of happening. Now, it is really important that we do this because you need to be rooted in reality and the reality of your situation. So you have already dealt with the images and those sounds of the things that were holding you back, that were just a fear and not real. And now we have the reality of the situation, and it is time to deal with that. So, first of all, are there any practical ways of reducing the real risk? And by this, I do not mean avoiding the situation altogether. You have to ask your brain a positive, empowering question such as, how many ways could I find to alter or lower the risk of the outcome? Now, this might not always be possible, but I guarantee you, Everyone who has ever set out to achieve a goal will look at the practical elements of them and see if there is anything that can be changed to lower the risk. Now, as I've said, this is not avoidance, but smart thinking. If we go back to our previous example of returning to work, you could have come up with an answer such as approach your employer to see if they could do anything to change your job during off-peak times when it was not busy until you'd gained your confidence of working back on the till again. Now, I know that sounds an obvious thing to do, but there are so many times when we fail to overlook the most obvious things. If we just sit and focus on the reality of a situation without any stress, any anxiety, we just do it in a calm, relaxed manner, we can often find that we will become so much more resourceful and start to find solutions that will help us to reduce elements of stress and anxiety. Now, when you're doing this, remember there are no wrong answers, and you are setting your brain to become more solution-focused instead of focusing on those old concerns that you used to. Now, go back to your assessment and ask yourself a positive question for each aspect and element of it. For example, you could ask, how could this be fun? Or, how could I produce the same results but in a different way? As long as you're not avoiding the situation, then you will find you will soon start to come up with various positive options that will start to make you feel better about the situation. Okay, go over your assessment now and come back when you're done. Right, so let's take a look at what we have achieved so far. We have already effectively looked at what it was that was making you anxious. We then used the first step in the free technique, focus, to see and hear what those old fears were, and then we changed the pictures and the sounds and got rid of them for good. And remember, every time they should ever pop up, we can just do that technique again and again and again. Now, we have also seen how much better we feel when we do this by bringing that old anxiety number down to a manageable level. We have then seen how making that conscious decision to do that can allow us to focus on the reality of the situation. This gave us a much better idea of what our true concerns were. We then saw what the true reality of the situation was. We then looked at practical ways of reducing the risk. So now we know what the real concerns are. Let's deal with those. And we're going to do that by moving on to the next stage of the free program, and that is R. And R stands for rehearsal, or in this case, mental rehearsal. What I'm about to teach you is the same powerful technique that I teach to athletes and business executives to enable them to improve their performance. It's the same technique that some of the world's leading athletes, actors, and rock stars use, and it will make a real positive difference to your life and the way that you live. Now, as we said in the previous section, when you focus on reality and see what the real issues are, you stand a much better chance of reducing your stress and anxieties. Because first of all, you are dealing with the real cause of your concerns and not just those things you have chosen to focus on. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever set out to achieve anything in life, such as go for a job interview, ask someone out on a date, or even just attempted to plan a calming, relaxing day for yourself, and then noticed that the first thought you have allowed to come into your head is something like, well, I will go, but I won't get the job, or he will just say no, or every time I plan something nice for myself, it always goes wrong. You will normally find that it is this kind of negative thought that will be followed up with exactly what you have just rehearsed and programmed for yourself. You may have heard of the saying self-fulfilling prophecy. And what that basically means is anything that you rehearse in your mind will usually happen. If you see something going wrong and feel that you're going to become stressed and anxious, then you are programming your mind to become stressed and anxious in that very future situation. Just imagine what would happen if a sports coach said to the football players something like, "Well, I'm sure you will probably lose, but, go out there, kick the ball around for 90 minutes, see what happens." How would it make them feel and perform? Probably not very well. Now, here is the thing. You can and are often programming your subconscious mind into a negative state whenever you do this. If you're experiencing any stress or anxiety in any area of your life, as we have previously seen, you are most likely giving yourself negative messages and making negative pictures that make you feel bad and anxious. So, from today, we're going to start practicing something new. We're going to start rehearsing your new life without stress and anxiety being a part of it. So how does it work? Well, first I want you to think yourself into a really gentle and relaxing state. Just think back to a time when you felt calm, relaxed, and very much in control. Maybe there is a special time or place when you felt deeply calm and relaxed and really enjoyed yourself. It may have been when you were on holiday or even just sat at home in your favorite chair. Wherever it is for you, just imagine that you are there right now. Or if you cannot think of one right now, just imagine how you would feel if you felt totally calm and relaxed. Maybe imagining a great place that you could go to that would make you feel calm and relaxed. See what you would see, hear what you would hear, and feel what you would feel. Now you may want to pause here and just relax into this really calm state. And when you feel that you are completely calm and relaxed, you can continue. Okay, now we're going to practice this very powerful mental rehearsal technique. You will now have an idea of what the real concerns about completing or achieving something are. Not the unlikely events, but the events that could happen. So staying in that nice, calm, relaxed state, think about what you would like to do and achieve. And then bring back that old negative image, whatever it was. In our example, we thought of having to go to work but becoming stressed and not coping. So if you still have a negative, stressful image of whatever you want to do, bring that back. But as you do, just hold on to this new level of calm you found. Now make sure you realize when you bring back this image, it is just a picture. And to do that, maybe you could see it with a border or a frame around it. And when you see the image, see it happening, but make sure you can see it happening to yourself in the image, almost as if it was happening to someone else, like it was a photograph you're looking at or an image on a screen. When you do this, you are totally disassociating yourself from the event. Now, just as you've done earlier with the other images, I want you to take this image and in your mind, just move it out the way. If it's safe to do so, you can close your eyes right now and that will help. Now, make a new image of the same scene. But now I want you to see it going differently. How would you like to see this going? Start to recreate the scene. Whatever it is, see it going really well. See yourself either being or achieving in a calm, relaxed manner, and maybe even enjoying whatever it is that you want to have happen. You could see yourself completing a task calmly, relaxed, talking to someone, being happy and smiling, and it all going really well. Again, you may want to pause here and just spend some time having fun with the image, being calm and relaxed and seeing what you want to have happen. And it's important that you stay focused on the positive here. This is not just about thinking positive. This is actually about rehearsing the positive time and time again in your brain. Now, when you're happy with that image and feel great about it, you should see you have two images in front of you. One of the old negative image that you no longer need, and now you have the bright positive new image that you desire. Now let's do something really incredible with the images. I want you to take that old image you no longer need, and just as you did before, make it smaller and darker, and see it going further and further and further away until it completely disappears. And as that image goes away, at the same time, make that new image bigger and brighter and bigger and brighter, and bring it closer and closer, and increase the color and make it really vibrant. So when it is so close, I want you to step right into this image, really associate into it as if it is actually happening to you. Just step into that new picture and start to see it through your own eyes. What can you see happening within the scene? Notice the colors around you. What can you hear now? You need to ensure that you only hear positive feedback, either from yourself or from other people. Just imagine that your internal voice and other people around you are telling you how good you are at doing this task. You need to focus now totally on seeing what you want to have happen. Now run this like a video clip or a movie, but before you do, just notice how calm and relaxed you are feeling, and hold on to that calm, relaxed state and start the movie. You could even have a great piece of music running in the background. Now as the movie starts, remember you're seeing this through your own eyes. See the event happening, whatever it is, wherever you want to be, doing whatever you want. Keep your breathing calm and steady though, and notice how much happier and positive you feel. Now take as much time as you like to let this movie run. Keep noticing all the things that you're seeing, hearing and feeling, remembering to focus on the positives. At any time you like, you can pause and keep the movie running. When it has come to an end, just hold on to that calm, relaxed state again. I want you to keep playing this movie time and time and time again. Now this is what professional athletes do. They play a movie dozens and dozens of times. Top golfers rehearse the ball going into the hole. Football players, runners, and Formula One drivers see themselves scoring or finishing first. You need to start practicing this positive mental rehearsal again and again, remembering repetition is the secret of success, and you get more and more of what you focus on in life. So when you see yourself and feel yourself achieving what you want, calmly and relaxed, you are programming your brain to rehearse these events time and time again in a positive way. Now here's the thing. The brain does not know the difference between real and imagined. So it actually believes that whatever it is you want to do is achievable now in a calm and relaxed manner. Also, when you have done this in your head a number of times, the brain believes that you have done this dozens and dozens of times successfully in your past. But actually, for real, your brain believes that you can do this just as easy as breathing or blinking. It will believe that the event is just second nature for you. It is going to be so important to you that you keep rehearsing this as many times as you need to every day. See it going well, hear the positive feedback until it feels so real to your brain that you know you could just go out and do this right now. Now, we're going to complete the next step of the free technique, and it follows directly on from your rehearsal technique. But before you go on to this next stage, you need to have worked on your positive mental rehearsal first and created a situation where you feel totally calm and relaxed in it, as we are going to use this for the next stage. So, spend some time making some great positive movies in your mind now, and ensure that you feel really calm and relaxed within them. Really have fun and really enjoying this. And when you've got one image that makes you feel calm and totally relaxed, come back and we'll do the next stage. Okay, this next stage is all about getting back control of the emotions and staying calm and in control of any and every situation. It is the first E of the free program, and it stands for emotional control. I'm about to teach you a really powerful tool that you can use to always be calm and control yourself at any time and achieve complete emotional freedom. Have you ever noticed there are times when a physical sensation can soothe or calm us, such as when a friend or family member holds our hands or puts a friendly arm around you on your shoulder? Now, we know we cannot always have someone with us at all times to calm us, but we can use the physical power of touch to calm ourselves, and we can do this by creating a very physical reminder of a good feeling. Now, one of the best ways of doing this is to actually squeeze your thumb and any finger together at any time when you feel most calm, to create that reminder of calmness. The reason this works is that it creates a positive feedback loop back to the brain, and the brain then sends that positive calming message back to the body. You can try it now and see how easy it is. Now, first of all, think of something that you want to do that you might find stressing or upsetting. Notice for you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how this makes you feel, with 10 being really anxious and 1 being really calm. Okay, bring back that scene. Notice how it makes you feel. Okay, now forget that for the moment. Right, let's go back to our positive mental rehearsal from the last section and bring up and start playing your favourite situation that you created. Now go through that scene where you felt calm and relaxed and heard all of the positive feedback. See how well everything it was going for you. Make the colours bright and even play your favourite piece of music again. Now, you may want to play this movie through your own eyes, time and time again, until you feel really calm and relaxed. Now, when you feel at your most relaxed, squeeze your finger and thumb and hold them together. Just enjoy and hold on to this relaxing feeling so much. And as you do, keep squeezing your finger and thumb together. Now, let them go and play that movie again. And when you feel you're most relaxed, again, squeeze your finger and thumb together. Keep doing this several more times, and each time when you're at your most calm and relaxed, squeeze your finger and thumb together. Now, think back to something that you have to do that we've said before you might find mildly stressful and unpleasant. And the minute you have any unpleasant feelings from thinking of this situation, now squeeze your finger and thumb together and notice how much calmer you are. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at? You should have found that number comes right down, as now your body and brain are working together to control your emotions. Now, practice this technique every day until you only have to squeeze your finger and thumb together to instantly feel calm and relaxed. Now you can use this in any situation you like. And any time you notice that your feelings are becoming more agitated or you're becoming stressed, you can just bring those levels down quickly and calmly. Always remember, keep this tool topped up and regularly attach good calming feelings to squeezing your finger and thumb together. Whenever you feel calm and relaxed in any situation, just keep that topped up. Now, go back over this process, if you like, and practice this calming technique again and again and again, until you only have to squeeze your finger and thumb together to create that really calming feeling. And as I said before, remembering that repetition is the mother of success. The more you practice this technique and the other techniques, the better you'll become and the calmer you will feel. Okay, by now, you are well on your way to starting to make some real headway in controlling your thoughts, reducing and beating your stresses and anxieties. You now know how your mind works, so you can immediately find the real causes of your stress. You also know how to get rid of those images and sounds that used to be the cause of your old problems. You have even started to rehearse just how differently your life would be if you went into any situation calm, relaxed, and in control, knowing how you can use your mind and body perfectly together to gain emotional control any time you need to. So now, let's move forward with the final stage of the free technique, and this actually stands for enjoy. Now, the final E stands for enjoy because we actually want to enjoy our new life, and we're going to give our subconscious mind a great way of looking forward to goal setting and creating a positive, bright new future where you have options and you're in control of what happens. Now, all the way through this process, we've been making new pictures, giving them a soundtrack, and new words that are both positive and anxiety and stress-free. But now we want to take that final step of getting out and achieving what we want by doing what I call fearless planning. Now, we know in life that we can't account for every situation, but what we can do is have a great motivating plan that will give us direction and a goal to aim for. Now, the incredible thing about this process, and it's one that I still use every day, is that it actually gives the subconscious mind a fixed point in the future to aim for, and this will both motivate you and tell your brain you can start to achieve what it is that you want in a calm and relaxed way. So first, start to think about a goal that you want to achieve. Now, this is going to be different for everyone. Some people may have a goal of going back to work in a calm and relaxed manner and completing a day's work effectively, happily, and then coming home again. Other people's goals may centre on feeling safe and secure enough within their own mind to leave their home and just take a bus ride to the shops. Your goal may be centred around setting up a business or dealing with conflict as a manager. Now, the brilliant thing about this last step is that it does not matter what it is centred around. The process will be exactly the same for everyone. So, the first step is to think of the goal that you want to achieve. Now, at this point, it's great to have a pen and paper or laptop just to start writing a few things down. So, first things are, write down just one sentence and no more than one what it is that you want to achieve. You may have written go into town, or go to work, or talk to my partner about our relationship. When you do this, just use straightforward, plain words and no emotional language, because that comes next. And when you do this, it's actually really important that you write this sentence down somewhere towards the bottom of the page. Okay, go and do that now. Now that you've done that, below I want you to write in positive terms another sentence, and that is how you want to do this. And this next line is really important. Let me give you an example. You may write something like, I want to do this and feel calm and relaxed, or I want to feel safe and secure, happy doing this. Whatever the emotion that you want to feel, write it down now. And remember, this is actually your end goal. For example, you may have written something like, I want to go back to work and feel calm, happy and relaxed doing it. So underline this, as it is actually the big picture of what you are aiming for. Now, before this can happen, like any plan, you know there will be several steps that you will be able to complete to achieve it. Now, it's going to be different for everyone, and some people will have more steps than others, but ideally you want to have around 4 steps to get you to your goal. Now, take some time here and go and write down in order each step you will need to take that will get you closer to your goal. Now, as I did before, I want you to write in one sentence what the steps are, and underneath state in the positive how you want to feel achieving each step. Now, when you are done, come back and we will go through your fearless planning stages and start to flesh it out a bit further. Okay, now you should have 4 steps that will get you towards your goal and a final goal, and underneath each step you will have how you want to feel doing this. Great. Okay, next to each step I want you to write down one positive thing that will come out of each stage, and this can be anything at all, but it has to be positive and it could be completely unexpected. For example, if your first step was leave the house and feel calm and happy walking down the road, you could decide that one unexpected positive may have been that you might actually have enjoyed the walk, or it will increase your chances of bumping into an old friend. Anything that is positive and come to mind, write it in here now. Now, the next step, and this again is another important step, is to write down what is the first thing you will need to do to make this step happen. In the last example, it may have been something as straightforward as putting on your shoes. Or if you wish to have a meeting with someone, it could have been writing them an email. So, go back to your fearless planning stages and add those steps to each level. Remember, you need to add a positive and maybe unexpected thing that will happen to each step, and then the first thing that you will do to make it happen. Okay, come back when you've done that. Okay, congratulations. You have just made your first fearless plan. In front of you, you now hold a blueprint for successfully achieving what you want, and now it's time for us to bring that blueprint to life so you can go out and start to achieve your goals. Now, first of all, I want you to go over each step of your plan and really think and focus on it in depth. It's going to be important that you commit this plan to memory, because in a moment I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and relax and really enjoy living each stage as though it was actually happening. We're going to start putting these in order on your future time path, so you can start to build a really positive yet calming vision of what it is that you would like to see happening, and then start taking those first few steps to making it a reality. Okay, go and look over your fearless plan and start to make a picture for each stage. Now, it's easier to remember items and pictures over words, so just make a separate picture of your plan and then the final goal itself. Now, within each picture, I want you to imagine and see the first thing that you are going to do that will make each stage happen. For example, in my example, it was tying your shoelaces before leaving the house, or sending an email to someone, or making a phone call. Now, never underestimate the power of making positive pictures here and placing them on a future time path. This is a really powerful tool for the mind to do, and remember, with each picture there will be a feeling and a positive event. Now, this may take you some time, but it is worth the effort to make that final stage happen and become a reality. And when you are certain you have all of your stages and an end goal committed to memory, come back and we will change the path of your future to something positive without stress or any anxiety. Great. So now you must have a really clear vision of how you want your future pathway to go. You have made a fearless plan that focuses on what you want and how you are going to feel in each stage, what will happen, and what is the first step that you are going to take in order to make that happen just as you wish. Okay, to achieve this now, we're going to have to access the positive alpha brain waves of your mind. And in order to do that, we're going to go into a deep trance-like state. So, make sure you're in a position where you're safe and comfortable to do this. Close your eyes and just relax. Now just stay very focused on the sound of my voice. And as you do that, I would like you to make yourself very comfortable. Just allow yourself to relax now. And as you do, just notice that as you're relaxing in this way and listening to the sound of my voice, you can actually become even more comfortable. Now take a long, slow, deep breath in. And as you slowly let that breath out, you can start to relax your whole body completely. Now again, slowly take another deep breath in, and then allow the breath to slowly leave your body. As it does, just become aware that as each breath leaves the body, you will relax even more. Now take in another breath, and as you allow this one to leave the body, this time relax all of the muscles in your face. Just allow them to start to soften and give up their hold over you, relaxing you even more. You may also be aware that your breathing is already starting to slow down and become so much calmer now. Just allow yourself to again take a nice slow breath in and then slowly letting it out. Noticing that as you breathe out, your whole body just relaxes even more. And take another breath in, and as you let it out, just realize how heavy your eyelids have become. And if they haven't already, just allow them to close and really start to focus on the inside. That's great. Have you already started to go into a deeper trance straight away and begun to focus on the inside? As you do, you may start to see your innermost thoughts appear as images before you. Just allow this to happen. See these images coming and going, and just realize that with each passing image,
And if you just pay attention to your body, you will notice it has already begun to relax even more now. And as it does, just notice how comfortable you feel. You may be aware of a deep softness or a warmth, or even feel that your body is becoming lighter, almost floating away. Continue now to focus on my words and pay special attention, not only to what I say, but the way that I am saying it, even noticing the gaps between my words, and accept that with each passing word, you are going deeper and deeper into a really comfortable, relaxing trance state. Now just allow your mind to return to your breathing, and notice how soft and gentle it has become. As you gently breathe in and out, you're letting your whole body become more relaxed with each breath out. You go deeper and deeper, sinking further into a safe, warm, and comfortable relaxing state. Now with your next breath out, just pay attention to your hands. Does one of them feel warmer than the other? And as you think about this, just let them become very heavy. So heavy that they both feel as if they are just melting deeper, deeper into a trance now. If you attempted to lift them, you know that you could, but you're enjoying this relaxing feeling so much that you can let them both just continue to sink deeper and deeper, and allow this relaxing feeling to spread over the body from the very tips of your toes right up to the top of your head. You are now very comfortably relaxed and ready to receive some very powerful suggestions from me that are going to enable you to make such positive changes to your life. You have learned from paying attention to the thoughts in your head how you can become free from your stresses and anxieties. It was actually so much simpler than you realized to just let go of so many old negative images and sounds that you no longer needed in your life. You are now learning how to take control over those thoughts and see and hear things differently. That will allow you to achieve so much more at this time. Maybe you have already started to see yourself as someone who is capable of living their life in a more calming and relaxing way. As you know that the human mind can only ever handle one emotion at any one time. So if you're feeling calm and relaxed about the situation, then you can't be feeling any other way about it. It is so important that you hold on to that thought, that you can only hold on to one feeling at any one time. So if you're feeling calm and relaxed about what you want to achieve, then that is the only way you can ever feel about it. So just allow yourself to feel as calm and relaxed as you would like to be at this time, and remember it is you that are giving yourself permission to do this, you are now totally in control of the thoughts that you want to have. And you know that you can do this just by changing those images and sounds. So let us start to look at your fearless time path that you have created that will allow you to achieve your goals in a calm and relaxed manner. And we're going to use our wonderful imagination to create a time path of your future. And you can see this any way that you want to. You can view it as a road stretching out in front of you, or a pathway, or steps, or anything that you like that makes sense to you. Now with each step, you have created a positive image that you need to take to achieve your goal. And I want you to imagine that you can take each of these images in order and lay them out one at a time on your time path. But as you put each one in place, imagine the next one to be slightly further away than the last. And at the end, I want you to put that final image of your goal. Okay, do that now until you have those images in your mind on your time path, several images on the path of each stage of your goal, and finally your end goal at the end of your time path. Now, step onto your time path and in your mind travel forward to your first image. Now, as you travel forward to your first image, see that image brightly and clearly. And remember that first feeling that you're going to experience when you step into it. Step into that image now, as if it were actually happening to you. Remember what positive feeling it is that you really want to feel, and feel that feeling now. Remember what first step you decided that you were going to take to achieve and complete this stage. Whatever it was, imagine that you're taking that action now and feeling calm and comfortable taking it. Notice what you're seeing and be aware of what you're hearing. Ensure that these are all positive, because you have the power to create this positive future. Now this action will lead you to another action, and whatever that action is, just imagine you're taking that now, still feeling calm, relaxed, and whatever positive emotion you wish to feel doing this. Just imagine that action will take you towards your next image. Now, step forward onto your future time path to your next image. See that image brightly and clearly. And remember that first feeling that you're going to experience when you step into it. Step into that image now, as if it were actually happening to you. Remember what positive feeling it is that you really want to feel, and feel that feeling now. Remember what first step you decided that you were going to take to achieve and complete this stage. Whatever it was, imagine that you're taking that action now and feeling Notice what you're seeing and be aware of what you're hearing. Ensure that these are all positive, because you have the power to create this positive future. Now, this action will lead you to another action, and whatever that action is, just imagine you're taking that now, still feeling calm, relaxed, and whatever positive emotion you wish to feel doing this. Just imagine that action will take you towards your next image. Now, step forward onto your future time path to your next image. See that image brightly and clearly. And remember that first feeling that you're going to experience when you step into it. Step into that image now, as if it were actually happening to you. Remember what positive feeling it is that you really want to feel, and feel that feeling now. Remember what first step you decided that you were going to take to achieve and complete this stage. Whatever it was, imagine that you're taking that action now and feeling calm and comfortable taking it. Notice what you're seeing and be aware of what you're hearing. Ensure that these are all positive, because you have the power to create this positive future. Now, this action will lead you to another action, and whatever that action is, just imagine you're taking that now, still feeling calm, relaxed, and whatever positive emotion you wish to feel doing this. Just imagine that action will take you towards your next image. Now, step forward onto your future time path to your next image. See that image brightly and clearly. And remember that first feeling that you're going to experience when you step into it. Step into that image now, as if it were actually happening to you. Remember what positive feeling it is that you really want to feel, and feel that feeling now. Remember what first step you decided that you were going to take to achieve and complete this stage. Whatever it was, imagine that you're taking that action now and feeling calm and comfortable taking it. Notice what you're seeing and be aware of what you're hearing. Ensure that these are all positive, because you have the power to create this positive future. Now, this action will lead you to another action, and whatever that action is, just imagine you're taking that now, still feeling calm, relaxed, and whatever positive emotion you wish to feel doing this. Just imagine that action will take you towards your next image. Now, step forward onto your future time path. Okay, it is now time to step forward onto that last image, your end goal. This is what you want and need to achieve in order to really start moving your life forward in a calm and relaxed manner. So travel along your time path and see that final image brightly and clearly. And remember that first feeling that you are going to experience when you step into it now. Step into that image as if it is actually happening to you. Remember what positive feeling it is that you really want to achieve and feel and experience it now. Remember, this is your goal that you have decided you are going to achieve and complete. Whatever it was, just imagine you have completed it now, and you feel calm and comfortable having done that. Now think of all of the things that you will see and hear, and hold on to this calming, relaxing feeling having done this. You know how much you can really enjoy this feeling of having completed your end goal and felt so much calmer and relaxed doing it. Now it's time to take action, and you're going to put that first step in place to achieve your goal. So, let's come out of trance now, and as I count backwards from 5 to 1, you will come out of trance, and on 5, you will know that you can start to always remember the following. Just know that you have cleared a pathway and moved all of those negative sounds and images out of the way, so you can see what is real and what is imagined. On 4, you can stay calm and focused on those positive images of the things that you want to achieve now. And on 3, knowing that any time that you want, you can just switch on those calm, relaxed feelings by squeezing your thumb and finger together to get total emotional control. And on 2, knowing that you have rehearsed your fearless plan and that every step will go really well, you can easily just step into those positive images and start to take action and really enjoy your new life. And on 1, now finally, open your eyes and hold on to this calm, relaxed feeling and go and take action right now and complete that first step on your new, brilliant, positive time path.